A husband and 4 children, and please look at me and tell me I should not be here.
Again, right now, abortions are still legally performed in Michigan. Well, hospital leaders in Michigan are reacting to the reversal, with at least one healthcare system deciding to stop abortions if not medically necessary. Kiara Hayes here to explain the impact. Kiara?
Effective immediately, Beaumont Health says they will only perform abortions if it will save a woman's life. The policy change made to protect doctors from facing felonies. In an email sent to staff, the president and CEO of Beaumont Health and Spectrum Health System says, with the Supreme Court's ruling, BHSH systems will follow the guidance of the Michigan 1931 law and only allow pregnancy termination when necessary to preserve a woman's life. Previously, the 8-hospital system would perform abortions if the fetus was not likely to survive. But because of the 1931 Michigan law that would make performing abortions a felony that carries with it a 4-year jail sentence, they made the switch. But not all hospitals are taking that stance. Michigan Medicine released a statement saying they remain committed to providing high-quality, safe reproductive care for patients across all of their reproductive health needs. State Senator Adam Hollier believes everyone should be involved in this conversation, not just women.
With Roe v. Wade being overturned, people's access to health care is going to be a huge problem. And every man in the state, every man in this country need to step up and make sure that this is not just some issue that women are talking about, that we are talking about, because women's health care is so critically important, not just to them, but to us.
The CEO of Beaumont Health says she is aware that this policy change could impact health equality, especially when it comes to infant and maternal mortality. But right now, she says they're working to build programs to counteract any potential problems. We'll have much more on this tonight. In Royal Oak, Kiara Hay, 7 Action News.
Thank you, Kiara. And stay with 7 for continuing coverage of this landmark decision by the Supreme Court and its impact on abortion rights in Michigan. We'll have the very latest on air at WXYZ.com. All right, switching gears now, let's get our first check of the weather with meteorologist Mike Taylor. Mike, I saw some clouds forming. What's in store for tonight?
Yeah, that's right. Those clouds will continue to increase, Mike. And as we get towards the late evening hours into the overnight, a few of these spotty showers will try to work their way into Metro Detroit. Some much needed rain. It's not going to be for everybody, but at least there's just a ever so slight chance out there. Temperatures, on the other hand, we're in the 80s right now. Port Huron at 82, Port Sanilac matching that number, Detroit at 84, and Adrian at 85. And as the rain gets close, at least for now, it's really starting to fall apart. There's a very slow-moving cold front that's going to work in some of this moisture with lift that gives us that slight chance. Otherwise, we're expecting things to be dry until it gets here. Temperatures are not going to move much as well because the humidity is noticeable. It's still fairly warm out there. Feels like a classic summer day and also a classic summer evening. Coming up, we'll talk about the rare chance or opportunity for rain that we have for tonight. After that, we'll be getting back to the heat, and I'll let you know when those 90s are back.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Well, President Biden left today for a week of meetings with European allies looking to keep nations united against Russia. The president will make many visits to Germany and Spain for the G7 and NATO summits. The White House hopes to announce a fresh round of sanctions against Russia, along with more military assistance for Ukraine. Leaders are also expected to hear from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Other topics on the table include potential NATO memberships for Sweden and Finland and discussions about China and climate change. The community continues to remember the life of Vincent Chin. Chin was a Chinese-American auto worker who was beaten to death in a perceived hate crime on the night of his bachelor party. Well, it's now been 40 years since his death, and today an interfaith commemoration was held at Central Methodist Church in Detroit. Organizers took the time to call out hate and violence against marginalized communities. An expungement clinic in Detroit today offering the chance for a clean slate. Over 500 people showed up today. The clinic was hosted by the Detroit alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and those who attended got free access to attorneys and other resources to help set their convictions aside.
We know that most citizens cannot afford to get their records expunged. We know with a clear record that will help them step into their brand new future.
This is the 6th year the clinic was organized. It was paused for the last 2 years due to COVID-19. Well, it's been 1 year since the deadly condo collapse in Surfside, Florida. 98 people lost their lives that day. And now their families are finally seeing compensation. More on a $1 billion settlement next. Plus, new HIV diagnoses dropped during the pandemic. The reason why they dropped and why doctors are saying this does not mean you shouldn't be careful. One year after dozens of people died of a Surfside, Florida condominium, a $1 billion settlement for loved ones impacted has been approved by a judge. The disaster killed 98 people. Thursday's settlement hearing in Miami was described as remarkable and moving by a plaintiff's attorney. Survivors, families of victims, and owners of damaged property can now submit claim forms to draw from the settlement fund. Newly diagnosed cases of HIV dropped during the first year of the pandemic. New CDC data shows HIV diagnoses declined by 17% in 2020. Researchers, however, say this does not mean that there are fewer cases. They warn disruptions brought by the pandemic's early lockdowns led to fewer people getting tested. Now, HIV testing sites are back up and running. The CDC recommends teens and adults get at least one HIV test in their lifetime. The Department of Veterans Affairs is studying psychedelics as a possible treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder. The VA recently began offering psychedelic drugs to patients with PTSD as part of clinical trials. There are at least 5 trials underway across the U.S. Drugs like MDMA and LSD, combined with psychotherapy, have shown promise in treating addiction and other mental health conditions. Still to come on 7 Action News at 7, more and more people gaining financial freedom in untraditional ways. Tools like investment apps may be the reason. We'll show you why the apps could be a game changer and what you should look out for. But first, protecting families from a pit of debt. 7 Action News goes in depth. The new movement in Michigan to crack down on predatory payday loans. Stay with us. You're watching 7 Action News at 7. Well, payday loans may look appealing as inflation tightens its grip on our bank accounts, but they can be a slippery slope into a pool of debt. And it's why a nonpartisan group in Michigan is fighting to get payday loan regulations on the ballot in November. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell explains the movement to protect families that could be at high risk.
It was a pothole that caused a major financial bump in one Detroit woman's life. Her car needed repairs.
I thought it was something simple, so I just took it to the mechanic and come to find out it was something major, $713 major, and I couldn't afford to pay for it. So I had to go and borrow money so I can get my car out so I can go to work.
Amber Wyatt took out a payday advance in November.
I got the money like that. The problem is, you borrow $600, you got to pay back $677.
She then found herself having to renew that payday loan, each time getting new big fees. And life kept happening.
Hi.
She went on maternity leave to have her beautiful baby 4 months ago.
What's your name?
Hi. Say Jada. We're just all trying to survive and make sure we keep a roof and lights and food on our kids' tables.
There currently are laws in Michigan restricting the fees on payday loans, but many don't realize the interest they are actually paying. Taking a look at the numbers, if you take out a loan for $100, the state says the maximum fee you can be charged is $15. $15 might not sound like a lot if you're in a jam and you need that money, but work it out day by day over 14 days. That's $1.07 per day. Times 365 for a $100 loan, you are paying 391% interest. Some say that's too high, even predatory, and that the law needs to change.
There are more payday loan stores in the United States than there are McDonald's.
Michiganders for Fair Lending campaign spokesperson Josh Hovey points to a Center for Responsible Lending report that found Michiganders spend more than $100 million a year on payday loan fees. The center says the average payday loan interest rate advertised in 2021 in Michigan was around 370% a year.
It's fair to charge someone interest for a loan, but we don't think 370% should be the number.
Michiganders for Fair Lending has turned in more than 400,000 signatures that the state is reviewing. If approved, its petition would let voters decide whether they should cap the interest charged by payday lenders at 36% a year.
That's not an unreasonable thing to be asking, is to not prey on people.
Is this going to put businesses out of business?
No, I mean, I think, any business should be able to make money charging 36% interest.
I reached out to companies like Check and Go and Advance America to request interviews, but didn't hear back by deadline. However, Advance America's website says its fees are sometimes less than the cost people face if they can't take out a payday loan. And a 36% interest rate cap, it says, wouldn't cover the costs of operating the business. Wyatt has mixed feelings. The payday loan got her out of a jam, even though she acknowledges it got her in a new jam.
When you have an emergency and you need money now and they're available, you don't have much choice.
In Southfield, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
That's true. Sometimes you are in a very tight position.
Yeah.
But switching to weather now, a lot of people hoping this rain makes a difference. What time can we expect it to kick?
Because we really need it to. You know, my lawn's looking pretty dry. Just so you guys know, this was not planned.
Not planned.
I'm sure you just have to call that out. Hey, but we're focusing on the rain, though. We're looking at the rain trying to move in after midnight. It's going to be pretty spotty in most spots. So unfortunately, if you're counting on this rain, if you get some, great, but don't count on it, unfortunately. So we're at 87 in Southfield right now, Warren at 86. Looking down towards Wyandotte at 82. As we zoom out, I want you to see temperatures are not going to change too much, but clouds are rolling in, and that's out ahead of a very slow-moving cold front that's just now crossing over Lake Michigan there near Grand Rapids. That's where the rain is currently located. It's going to take its sweet time before it reaches us. This cold front will do two things. Yes, it's going to bring the clouds and also the rain, but it's also going to reinforce some milder air that's going to cool us down. So we have highs near 90 for today. We could do it again for tomorrow, but then by Monday and Tuesday, we'll be struggling just to get near 80 degrees based on this new air mass that's going to move in. Outside right now, we're at 84 degrees. The dew point's at 58. Those winds are from the southeast at 7 miles per hour. So far, the high temperature today was around 87. This morning, we started off at 65, so that's above average, and we'll continue to stay right around that. I'm thinking for tonight, we might even turn it up a notch. So I'm thinking after midnight, that's when that chance of rain's only going to increase, but it will be scattered at best. Before that, we're just expecting a mixture of sun and clouds out there. In fact, you'll see the models trying to pick up on a few of those green specks if that chance kind of floating on by. Overnight lows will stay fairly mild or warm. 70 degrees in Detroit, Mount Clemens, all the way up towards Port Huron. If you don't reach the 70s, you'll be close into the upper 60s for areas like Pontiac. Into Sunday, because this cold front is moving so slowly, there is a chance that we could get up into the upper 80s, maybe touch 90 in some spots, and that could bring a few pop-up showers, maybe even a thunderstorm. But on the other side of this boundary, look at the temperature for Pontiac, 78. So the slow-moving cold front will eventually cool us down. So 87 will be the high temp, but it will be a glancing blow as it continues to sweep on through with that cold front. And we'll feel the difference by Monday. We'll have a high of only in the 70s. We'll have lots of sun and clouds around. But once again, it's going to be much cooler and milder. Muggy meter goes down to the 40s. That allows your overnight lows to go back to the 50s. So it's going to be a refreshing change to start the work week with a mild feel. But it looks like the heat is back by Thursday, and we have a few chances of seeing some rain on Wednesday and next Friday.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Sounds like a great week. And now to an important anniversary. This week marked 50 years since Title IX became law. The landmark legislation prohibits sex discrimination in educational programs that receive federal funds. The law was critical for ensuring women and girls had access to education, but Title IX has become most well known for its application to athletics. A data analysis by ABC News